For better or worse, this is my Halloween costume. I saw your post. I like it. How can I purchase it? And it's always fake. You just ignore them at this point. Hey there, Knotty friends. Welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for returning. If you're new here, hi, I'm Chris, aka Knotty Bear. I'm an amigurumi designer, crocheter, and crafty person on the internet, and I put out new videos every single week. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. You can also follow me on my other social medias. I'll be sure to link them down below. But with that said, I have a very exciting week planned for us. We are going to pause the crochet challenge I've been doing for this week only, and I'll talk about why in a second here. Instead, we are going to focus on some new amigurumi designs, preparing for the oncoming holidays, and as always, chit-chatting as I take you through my week. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to grab your favorite beverage. It might be your last opportunity to drink something pumpkin flavored before swapping out for peppermint. Of course, I am drinking this black dirty chai espresso coffee tea, which sounds really intense, but it tastes good and it keeps me caffeinated, so that's all that matters. But anyways, that is enough chit-chat for now. Let's jump into the video. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not talking about the sniffer. I'm talking about when I said last week when I was going to start crocheting on Sunday or start the challenges on Sunday and be a better person. Remember that? Well, today is Tuesday and I have a good defense. I actually did film some stuff yesterday and I somehow messed up and I didn't record all of it or something. I'm not sure. And the rest of it, I just wasn't vibing with. I didn't like the whole intro and everything. So it is Tuesday and I'm going to refilm this. In all honesty, I probably could have just filmed it and pretended it was Monday, but I'm not here to lie to you. So with that said, we are starting on a Tuesday, which is perfectly fine. Like I said in the intro, we are not going to do the crochet challenge this week. That's actually not because of that. I decided this last week because the holidays are fast approaching. And even though I have lots of design ideas in my head, I have nothing on paper. And like I've said a million times before, it takes a long time to write things down, take the photos, do it all, write the pattern, send it to the tech editor, wait for that, and then pattern test it. I've talked about before. So these things take time, and unfortunately Christmas is in like less than 2 months. So it is coming fast, so I have to prepare for that. So that's why we kind of just shelved it for now. I should be returning to it next week, hopefully. With that said, I did mention the sniffer and I wanted to show him to you because I did not finish it 100%. And as you can see here, he is all done. Yes, this was painstaking and took a lot of time to add all this like texture here, but I think it turned out really nice. A lot of you seem to like him as well, or at the very least you had children or grandchildren who like Minecraft and really enjoyed him. I'm in that camp too. I love this one. I love the colors. I just have pet hair as always over everything. But I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I'm going to be putting a free pattern eventually on my Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, I talked about it a little bit last week. We're officially live with that. It is slowly being updated. However, there are already 2 of you that are in the fully stuffed tier, which I think it's Kelly and Frost, I believe in the names. Thank you both so much for joining already. It means the world to me that you would just believe in me and go into it. I promise I will be updating. I've already added a couple things. I did add this free mushroom spray pattern already, so things are being updated there. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Patreon if that's okay with you. I'll leave the link to it in the description below. I'm going to be adding patterns for things that maybe I can't sell. So free patterns to my Patreon for things that rhyme with Shmokumon maybe, or copyrighted things. If you're interested in them, that's where they will be. There are a couple different tiers. You can check them out. Different things like shop discounts. You'll get updates. There are free versions as well. I think you just get like the general post. For example, I posted a photo of the sniffer on the Patreon, and I believe if you're a free member, you would have access to that kind of stuff. So you can go check it out or not. I'm not pressuring you, but if you want to support me, it really does mean the world to me. I'm really excited to grow this community with all of you. I really enjoy having a space where I can put these patterns that maybe are not my designs, but a lot of you for years have been asking me to upload. So it's finally here. You can stop asking me. I will upload them, but please have some patience because like I said, I'm working on a lot of stuff, but I will be updating and I have been posting there. We also have a Discord, which I'm going to sound like an old man. I'm not 100% sure. I've been part of a Discord before. I am working on it. If anyone want to join and you know Discord and you want a little place to hang out, I would really appreciate that. But again, no pressure. I'm just happy you're here. But that's enough talk about Patreon for now. If you join, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you there. As for the rest of the day, I'm going to write my checklist. I'm going to treat this as a Monday. As most of you know, I like a good checklist so I can mark things off as I go through my day. So I'm going to do that and then we'll see where we get to and I'll check back in a little bit. Hopefully I remembered to add a little bit of footage from yesterday's trip. I got quite a bit of the temperature blanket done, so that's always good. And I started the next design, which I don't even have a drawing for, but I have an idea in my head, so I just wanted to do a little bit. I'm going to share some of that. I don't want to share all of my plans for the holiday winter season, amigurumi designs and stuff, but this one I think I can make an exception for, because a lot of you have mentioned in the past that I should crochet Cyprus or Fiji, which if you've been watching the vlog, you know are my dog and my bunny, and I think that's a great idea. However, with that said, I do have to keep in mind what I'm trying to establish here as like a business or brand, if you will. And those things are like my love for like the wildlife around me. Obviously, I live in Canada. I grew up in southern Ontario. So a lot of my designs are inspired by like bullfrog, foxes, raccoons, things I've actually seen in the wild or at least live in Canada. So that's kind of where I want to keep it. I also incorporate my love of color and whimsical things. So that's kind of the story, if you will, that I'm trying to build. And as much as I love Cypress, he's not really fitting into that vibe of all those things I just said. So maybe one day as like a special edition or down the line, I'll do something, who knows. But for now, I think we're going to leave that. With that said, though, Fiji is a brown bunny, which technically he's not a cottontail, but if you live in Canada or most of North America, probably most places in the world, there are a lot of rabbits around and they're technically cottontails. I actually don't know what kind of rabbit he is. He's currently licking the wall. I'll just... Anyway, I took him to the vet. She said he's a mix. He's like a big boy. He's just a big, good boy. So I'm happy to do a Fiji-inspired rabbit for the winter season. So that is going to be the next pattern design. I'm very excited about it. I have to think about how I want to bring it into the Knotty Bear universe. So like I said, things like color and whimsy. So he has to be doing something fun, like Otis is fishing or Knotty Bear is like got his hand in the honey pot kind of thing. I don't know if I want to keep him brown and bring the color elements in with like clothing and accessories, or do I change his overall color, which is probably what I'm leaning to more, is making him like a colorful bunny, but I don't really know yet. Like I said, I have to do a little bit of drawing, so I'm going to do some concept drawings just to get out the general shapes and what I want to be doing. And then I can start my favorite part, which is actually the crocheting of a new design. I just love figuring out the different shapes and putting everything together. It just does something to your brain, so I'm excited to get started with that. Now that I have a design that I'm pretty happy with, I like the floppy ears under the hat. I like the way his feet are. They'd be facing forward in reality, but I kind of want just to see what they would look like. I'm going to add a little bit of clothing. I'm thinking we're just going to do like a sweater, I think, and then leave the legs open. It's fine. He's got lots of fur down there. And just to see what it looks like, I think it would be cute to just have his paws out and then just crop it. Maybe a little bit higher. About there. And then just see what that looks like. Just erase this. Okay. And then I'm thinking for the overall design, I might actually redo this part. I'm thinking for the actual design of it, I want to go something a little bit more complicated than what I've done in the past, which has just been like color changing stripes. But I want to do like an actual little design or something. I've seen so many fun ones. Fiji's favorite snack is apple, and I know that's not maybe the most like Christmassy vibe. Red and green is, so I think it actually would work. That is definitely not an apple. Let's try that again. A little bit closer to that. I'm thinking maybe like doing an apple in the middle or having a bunch of apples around it. Make it a little bit harder, but I think that'd be really cute. I'm thinking his overall character will be some kind of forager, so I might give him like a little basket or like, I don't know, maybe some kind of backpack or something full with like carrots or whatever. He actually doesn't like carrots. The vibe would be kind of like foraging through the forest in the wintertime, dressed up, looking super cute. So I think that's what we're going to go forward with. I'm excited to get started on this one. As many of you'll know, I like to overcomplicate things, and I have this idea for the feet where it has like individual paws, I suppose, kind of like this. I did this in the car yesterday, And this looks a little insane. This could be a good like chicken foot maybe, but you kind of get the idea of like individual paws. So I've kind of worked on a couple different ideas for that, and I'm happy with the way this one's turning out. I'm using scrap yarn and random color, and I'm not focusing on the tidiness, so don't judge it too much, but it makes sense to me. I am happy with this. So I think what I'm going to do now is make a couple more of these properly, and then I might start with the body or the legs later. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see where we get to. It's a little bit later. I'm about to go to bed, but I was just working on a little side project. I realized I haven't shown you two of the whips I'm working on. They're not amigurumi related, but I did show the yarn that I bought for them each. So I'm doing one. Oh, I guess I don't need this on. Or maybe I do. Actually, the lighting probably helps. Let me show you. So this is the first one. It's going to be like a little winter toque, a little winter hat, depending where you live. And it is made out of this cotton Friends print, which is the new one from Hobie I bought, I think last week. I showed it in the vlog. So this is how it's working up, and I just love the colors. It's so soft, and I think it looks really cool. So this is obviously the green version. I'm not following a pattern or anything. I'm just doing that thing where you half double crochet and then you just do a single crochet and a slip stitch at the top, and then at the end I'll kind of tie it up and it becomes a little toque. I think I'm going to do a brim as well for this, and then I'll probably just do it out of a color that matches this beige color, and I'll do like a brim here, and I think that'll be super cute. So I think that'll probably be done maybe tomorrow or Thursday, we shall see. I'll probably be done it tomorrow or maybe Thursday, but overall, very happy with the way this is looking and turning out. I'm excited to use the other colors. There's a pastel one, and then there's like that bright multicolor one that I showed you before. The other thing I'm working on, I showed you a yarn. I can't remember. This is when I went to Michael's and they had the sale, and it was a Karen cake. And I was planning on doing a scarf. I had an idea where it was like trees going into the sky, which you can see here is kind of what happened. However, I don't love the way this yarn is working up. They recommended to use a 9mm crochet hook. I mean, listen, I could have done a swatch just to make sure, but I kind of jumped right into it. And I was thinking it would be a scarf, but now I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a table runner. So I'm going to do the opposite thing. I just kind of freehanded this little, I don't know, tree pattern, and I'll add probably some like little white pieces for snow, and then I'll do the other side the same so that it ends off in trees, and then it'll just be like a little table runner. So that's pretty cute too. So those are my two non-amigurumi whips, aside from obviously the temperature blanket. This beast, which is just craziness. It doesn't look very big here, but it is huge, I promise. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. I wanted to share a funny story with all of you about something that happened recently with a potential customer. I want to preface it by saying that if you're like me, you have an Etsy shop or you sell something online, or even if you just have online social media, you know how bad scams are out there, especially like bots and stuff, fake things. We get them all the time. I have a Instagram account, obviously, that is set up to a Facebook page that I never look at. I don't even know it exists, but every time I make a post, it automatically posts onto that page. And immediately after, I get at least 2, 3, 4, 5 messages from people. Hey, it's usually my name is this, maybe I live in this area, I saw your post, I like it, how can I purchase it? And it's always fake. You just ignore them at this point. So you also get them on Etsy and other places. So I'm always kind of a little bit weary of those kind of messages in general. However, last week I did receive a message, and I'm going to call her Amber for the purpose of this story. And she messaged me saying, "Hello, sir. I am located in blank, a town nearby. I was wondering if you have any crocheted animals ready for purchase. I would be able to pick up, would need it for Saturday." This kind of follows a lot of the messages I've heard before from people in the community that I've listened to, where it's, someone messages, they usually say they need it for a soon date, and then they go into it and it's like, I need it discounted and all these things. So right off the bat, I'm thinking this is probably scam. But it is also Etsy, so I have to reply within 24 hours to keep my status up, which is a whole thing I won't get into. So I just messaged saying, "Hi, thank you for your message. I actually don't sell physical amigurumi normally because I'm a pattern designer. Did you have a design or animal in mind?" I told her the price for my standard plushies, and I said I hope that helps. "I have an extra bullfrog if that's something you're interested in. Thanks." So I have an extra Ducky the Bullfrog from a prototype I made. It is basically the same thing as the final, not much changed. So it's just kind of been sitting on my shelf. So I figured if this is a real person with a small chance, maybe they would be interested in that. Amber replied saying, "Thank you so much for the information. Much appreciated. How much is the bullfrog?" And I told her normally it is blank. However, I didn't plan on selling this one. It's an extra one. Like I said, it's just been sitting on my shelf. So I told her I would take off a little bit off the top, about $20, which I thought was more than fair. I sent her some photos and said, "Let me know if you're interested." Again, thinking this is a little strange, still probably not a real person. Then she replies, "That's a bit out of my budget. Would you take blank? I could pick up, no shipping." Immediately, I was like, okay, this is feeling like what I said before, where it's discount, discount, discount. And then I don't know what the end result is because I don't think they actually take it in that case. I'm not sure what the scam is there. Maybe some of you will know. You can leave it in the comments below. But I immediately said, "Hi, sorry, that's the lowest I'll go for." With an item like this, unfortunately, they take a lot of skill and time. So it's not something I can easily discount without taking a hit financially. I've already discounted this. Hope you understand. If you change your mind, let me know. At this point, I thought, there's no way this person's going to respond. This feels just like some kind of weird something, scam or something. After a few days, she does reply, and she says, "Hello, thank you. I understand. No worries. Is the item brand new, never used?" Which sounds funny to me, but I guess the intention is that someone play with it, which it just sits on my shelf, like I said. "It's a birthday gift. Feel free to text or call me." Leaves her number. "Maybe we can arrange a pickup. I'm in blank again," which is the town next to me. And I said, okay. Now, I'm not super comfortable giving out my personal number because I don't have a business number. And we're already talking on Etsy. So I was like, it just feels strange. I don't know. I guess people are more comfortable with it than others. So I kind of ignored it for now. I just replied saying, "Hello, it's not used," in the sense that since I made it, it's been sitting on a shelf. If this is a gift for a small child, I wouldn't recommend it since it has safety eyes, can be pulled off, choking hazard, all that stuff, just to let her know. I did say I could meet up sometime tomorrow. I am not far from kind of a general area, about 5 minutes away, I told her. I'm also around on the weekend. I prefer cash. Let me know if you have any questions. I wasn't too sure if she would reply here, but she actually did and said, "Hello, it's for a 9-year-old child. It should be fine. I live here," which, I mean, it was pretty specific. I don't know if I need to know that, but that's fine. "Tomorrow works for me. I'm done at 4. Let me know where you'd like to meet. Cash works. My number again is blank. Might make this communication easier." Again, was kind of weary about the fact that she was pushing the phone number because I wasn't comfortable with it. So again, I didn't message her right away. I just kind of responded on here. Actually, I didn't actually respond to that. It was my automatic respond because it was later in the day. Then she responded that morning, the Friday we were supposed to meet. "Hello, if we can meet up on Friday after work. The birthday is on Saturday afternoon. I can make it to you for 4:40. Did you want to meet at the plaza with the blank restaurant?" Which kind of weirded me out even more, kind of sent up another red flag because when I tell you this restaurant is super close to my house, I can smell when they're making lunch from my backyard. So immediately I thought, this person really is pushing for me to text them. They're super close, but I also can realize that this is a real person, not a bot. But it still felt a little scammy and weird. I wasn't sure what was going on here. However, I also kind of decided at this point, I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to just see what happens, kind of jump in, and who knows, maybe it'll be a fun story. So I just said, "Hi, Amber, that works perfectly for me. I can meet you outside here at 4:40. If you need time, just message me. I'll bring the bullfrog, Dougie the bullfrog. I'll have a box that fits if you need it. Let me know." And then she responded with, "Perfect. Thank you so much. I drive this car. Just text me on my cell." Again, gives me the number for the third time. Maybe do a test message so I have yours as well. Again, like I said, I was kind of all in at this point. I'm sure it's catching up the red squirrel. I feel like all my videos have red squirrels in the background. Anyways, I kind of was all in at this point, so I did message. I got a "Hey Chris" back, which seemed again a little bit vague, but ended up going just because why not at this point. And lo and behold, I'm happy to report that Amber was a real person. She was very lovely. I feel kind of bad because when she came out, I said, "Oh my God, you're a real person and not a scam." And she was a little bit taken aback. I think she just was not thinking about that side of things at all, which is perfectly fine. Whereas I was coming at it like someone who deals with this all the time. So she was like, why would I be a scam? I kind of explained to her. I was like, I'm sorry. And she was very lovely about the whole thing. I showed her Dougie. She was happy with it. We did our exchange and then she drove away. So after all that, it was a perfectly fine exchange. So I guess the moral of the story is sometimes they're scam, but sometimes they're actually real people. So you never know what you're going to get. Anyways, I thought I would share. Hopefully you enjoyed that. This is one of those projects where it's like, I'll just do one more row. I'll just do one more row. And honestly, I don't even need to really be focusing on this, but there's something just satisfying about it. And because it's small, I keep going like, well, I might as well finish it, or I might as well just do another row. And I'm not getting anything done. So I'm trying to just finish it off. I'm very close to being done. I super love. I really love all the colors and the way they're working up. I think this is gonna be my new favorite winter hat. So I can't wait to finish it so I can actually work on other things and be a responsible adult. Oh boy. Remember these guys? Look how cute they are. My old bestseller before Etsy made all its changes. I'm taking some photos for the website, which I'm hoping to get up soon. So I printed some more. Side note, I ordered this like off-brand cutting mat foam, or however you say that. And this is supposed to be like the low-tack version, but as you can see, it like ripped off the back of a lot of them. I don't think it's gonna be a huge deal. Let me know if you like would care if you got something like this where the sticker is fine, but the backer is maybe a little ripped. It was only on a couple of them, which is annoying, but the sticker itself is still fine. So hopefully that is okay. Does anyone else's brain seem to turn on right before bed? Like right before you're about to go to sleep, it's like everything becomes super clear and you remember all the things you forgot all day, and it's the worst time because you're trying to go to sleep. If I had that kind of mental clarity all day, I'd probably get a lot more done. Anyways, it is a new day. It's actually Halloween. Happy spooky day. Actually, I feel like I'm underdressed. I need to find something to wear. Okay, you know what? It's good. Wait, I'm probably gonna regret this part. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, okay. For better or worse, this is my Halloween costume. I feel ridiculous. I feel like it's giving mouse more than bear, but that's okay. Yeah, happy Halloween. Thankfully, I have no coworkers, so I don't have to see anyone, so I can just sit here and do my own thing. So aside from looking like a fool on the internet, I have been doing lots of things. I got a lot of work done on the website yesterday, the Shopify site. For anyone looking to switch from Etsy to Shopify, what I realized last week is there is a way, thankfully I did this before, adding anything to my Shopify site, but there is a way to like kind of export, let me just turn this fan off. There's a way to export a file from Etsy, and just I can see myself, I look so stupid. All right, there is a way to export like a file from Etsy, and it'll basically bundle all the photos and information of the listings and everything into one file, and then Shopify will allow you to upload that and it'll immediately add everything. It's not 100% perfect, but it gets a lot of the work done. So I'm glad I looked that up before actually doing anything on Shopify, because that made the transition so much easier. From there, I've been doing like some behind the scenes things. The only thing left I really have to do at this point is figure out my shipping for everything, because certain things get shipped differently. Then I'll place a test order. And then I think we're pretty close to being done. Unfortunately, like Shopify, you have to use templates and themes, and I want to use the default for now because I don't want to spend a ton of money on this. I will probably one day get a better theme for it just so things look prettier. As a designer, it does hurt me a little bit when I see things not laying out the way I would normally like them, but it's kind of out of my control for the most part. You can only do so much with Shopify because it's not made for necessarily being the prettiest. I mean, there are a lot of nice looking Shopify sites, but it's more e-commerce, right? Because you're selling. So that's the like main event, as it were. Anyways, I'm happy with the progress there. For today, we are going to do some more work on the Fiji design because I haven't done too much since the last time a couple days ago. So I have to do some behind the scenes admin stuff, I guess. There is a pattern that I put out last year that no one really saw, which is fine because I was pretty new to Instagram at the time. And it's for a little Christmas tree. I actually might have one here. I got it. It was way up there. So I posted this pattern for free last year, and it's for a Christmas tree. I remember it being smaller. Got Fiji hair all over it. Really cute. It's also like a little pin cushion. So I'm going to turn this into more of... My light bulb just burnt out. Hopefully it's still bright enough in here. But I'm going to turn this into kind of like what I did with the mushroom sprite pattern on my Patreon. I'm going to just clean up a little bit because the one is just like a JPEG with like the instructions on it. Nothing fancy, which is fine, but I do want to just clean it up. I'll add it to Patreon. I'll put it on the free for all tier, so even if you're a free member or subscriber, you'll have access to things like this. And then, yeah, hopefully it does well because the Argy spider pattern is one of my best, like, definitely my best free patterns, but also one of my best posts I've had in a long time. People seem to really like that, so I want to keep that going. So if you like the idea of this, I feel like this one's just a little bit bigger than the actual one. I don't know. I mean, listen, today is Halloween, so tomorrow it's a free game for decorating for Christmas. So I'm sure I'll find the actual one at some point. I think this could be made using that pattern if you just like continued it on. It would make sense once you see it. But anyways, I digress. I want to just take that pattern and clean it up a little bit and add it to the Patreon. And then I'll re-upload it to my Instagram and social medias as well, probably at some point. So I'll do that real quick today. And then today is a good edit day for all of this kind of stuff, all the YouTube stuff. So I'm going to edit a bunch of videos, a couple of reels, get all that out of the way. I've been really good with the working out lately. I try and do it every single weekday if I can, just for like half an hour, get some in there. I was really good the months leading up to our vacation. And then after vacation, it's kind of been a slow roll back into it. So I want to make sure I stay up on that, stay up in the gym bro. I actually hate the gym. I like working out. I hate the gym. I don't like being in that environment. There's just something about it that makes me uncomfortable. So I like to do stuff around the house, or I like to go out and I like to be active outside. I love going for bike rides. I have to make plans for winter season because that's always the hardest. But anyways, enough of that. I think for the most part, that's pretty much my day. That's what I want to do. I'm sure I'll add things to it as I always do. So we're going to get on with the day. I'm probably going to wash this off. So enjoy it while it lasts because I'm not going to look like this all day because I feel ridiculous. But I'll see you in a little bit. I think we must have had a spooky visitor because the light bulb's totally fine. And I don't know why it turned off. So it's official, Mariah Carey has made her post. Halloween is dead, and I don't know how I feel about it. We had a lot of cool stuff happen yesterday. Gaga posted her new music video, which was awesome. Ethel Cain came out with new music. There was just a lot of cool things that happened yesterday, and now it's over. Also, something else that was a little bit strange was the amount of trick-or-treaters we got. In the 10 years that we've lived here, we have normally gotten hardly any. In fact, we just don't even bother anymore because with the lights on and everything, we usually only get like 1 or 2 trick-or-treaters. So we usually don't even bother. We just kind of stay in and do our own thing. However, yesterday with the lights off and everything, we had people knocking at our door and there were so many people outside. I don't know what was going on. I think maybe with the change in like the housing market, a lot of people have moved and stuff. Also, it was a really warm weather yesterday. So maybe all those things kind of like affected and changed things, which is exciting because I don't really feel bad that we don't participate. But next year I might change things a little bit, be a little bit more prepared, and maybe we'll actually get some trick-or-treaters. Who knows? I did share a little bit of a local area not too far from us that like closes down the street and does everything up in Halloween, and everyone decorates, and I love that kind of vibe. It makes me feel like the 90s again, because you don't get a lot of that. I mean, Toronto's pretty into Halloween. I hear other places, Europe, Australia, things like that, don't really participate in Halloween, which is so interesting to me because here it's such like a big part of like growing up and being a kid. But nevertheless, it is over now, so we're going to take down all the decorations and get ready for Christmas, which I'm not the type of person to start decorating on the 1st. I usually wait a couple weeks, a little bit, and then I start to decorate. I do have a couple updates for you. I want to share some of the whips I finished. So I actually didn't finish the little hat toque thing, which I do want to find a little pom-pom, I guess, for the top of it. I did this brim on it, and I think technically I wanted it flipped up, but I really hate it with the brim. It looks really cute on without the brim. I might just unwind this part and then finish off the edge with some single crochets. I usually like a hat with a brim, but for some reason, I'm gonna put it on, it looks stupid. It looks so much cuter without it. I don't know if I did something wrong. Maybe it's the color. I don't know. It just changes the look of the hat completely. Like, I just don't like it. So I'm gonna take off this part and then just finish it off and add a little pom-pom. But I really love the yarn and the colors and everything. Really cute. Dante's eyeing it too. I can see him. I had to make him one too. The other thing I want to talk about is right next to me. So let me show you. So as you can see here, this is the temperature blanket. And my God, it's really long and it's about 3.5 feet wide. So it's actually not that like narrow. But with that said, I am just finishing up July. So let me actually flip you back here. So like I just said, I'm finishing up July. I'm on like July 25th or something. And this blanket is just getting too long. And if I carry on, it's going to be almost twice as long. I still have 5 more months to go. And I just don't see a point in that. It seems kind of silly beyond being like, oh, I crocheted a row every day, which I don't really care that much about. I know I could finish this regardless if I really wanted to, but I want it to be a blanket that I actually use. So with that in mind, what I'm thinking of doing now is finishing up the last couple days in July. And then what I think I'm going to do is start adding a border, because that way we will start to make it a little bit wider, also a little longer, but not nearly as long as if we just keep on going. And I would like it to be a little wider. I'm not mad at the width, but it could be a little bit wider. So I think adding a border will kind of help with that overall. I haven't decided how I'm going to go about that because it's going to take a long time just to do one row. So I don't know if I want to do one row around per month of the remaining 5 months. And that would probably make a border maybe about that long. Depends if I keep doing half double crochets, which I probably would. So maybe like that long. Actually, I can tell you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the border would be like that long if I did one for every month. I might be okay with that because if you doubled it, just doing some rough math, it probably about that extra width around all the way, which is kind of nice. It's actually a pretty big border too now that I'm looking at it. But I think that would be okay. Hopefully that's making sense. Hopefully I'm not just blathering on and not making any sense. But I think that's what we're going to do. I have to figure out the logistics of it. I just think that will make a blanket that I'm much happier with. It wouldn't be a blanket that's like 15, 16 feet long. For what? I don't know how many people are going to be under this blanket. There's just 2 of us. Let me know if any of you actually care about the updates on the temperature blanket or if I'm just talking about it too much. I feel like it's just on my mind, which is another reason I'd rather just simplify it so I don't have to worry about it all the time. With that said, I think this is a good spot to end the vlog. I don't have much going on today besides the stuff we've talked about, website design. I'm going to post some reels, work on some new designs and things like that. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Let me know in the comments what you dressed up for Halloween. Hopefully it was better than my costume, which is not hard to beat. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one, and stay naughty. Bye. Hey there, naughty friends. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks. So if that sounds like fun to you, grab your favorite beverage. It might be the last time you drink. So